you tired of spending all your time weeding? What if I told you that there was a technique that would allow you to spend at least 90% less time weeding? And that it's a method of controlling weeds that anyone can implement once they understand 2 key insights about weeds that I'm going to reveal in this video. Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Seabrook from Learning from Nature. Have you ever worked out how many hours you spend weeding? I have. When I first had an organic market garden, it was the most expensive part of running my business. And even more frustrating was that after spending all those exhausting hours digging and pulling out weeds, they would just come right back in again. I'm sure you know what I mean. It's an endless cycle. As you probably realize, there are other ways to reduce weeds, like mulch and weed matting. But even though they help, we still have to keep doing these chores every year. That's why every summer so many people search on the internet for ways to eliminate weeds permanently. So let's go a bit deeper into why weed problems occur. Because in understanding these 2 key insights about weeds will help you solve your weed problem once and for all. What happens when you dig or pull out weeds? You are left with bare and disturbed soil. And what environment do weeds thrive in? Bare and disturbed soil. So the first insight is a really simple one. It's just that weeding makes our soil in a worse condition, and it creates thereby a perfect environment for weeds to thrive. We create an endless cycle of weeding. I'll get to the solution in a moment, but first let me explain why more weeds grow. Weeds are the experts at growing in degraded soil. That's why we get weed-infested land where nothing else will grow. You can think of weeds as pioneers, you know, a bit like the American pioneers on the Oregon Trail, heading out west. They are fully equipped to cultivate new land. So weeds grow well in compacted soil with low nutrient availability and low organic matter levels. They produce masses of seed, have excellent seed dispersal mechanisms, and produce seed that generally remains viable in our soil for years, waiting for the right conditions to germinate. So how do we break this endless cycle of weeding? The answer is by improving our soil. If degraded soil provides the ideal environment for weeds, you can appreciate that by improving our soil, we can get rid of weeds for the long term. But how do we improve degraded, weed-infested soil when nothing else will grow? The answer may surprise you. Weeds are the best tool to repair our soil. This is actually the second insight. And you heard me correctly, yes, weeds are the ideal tool for repairing severely degraded soil. The reason is that by managing weeds, instead of digging or pulling them out, the weeds supply leaves, stems, root tissues and root exudates to feed our soil organisms. By letting weeds grow, we allow them to give our soil organisms the resources to regenerate our soil. Weeds are in fact providing a valuable service. So next time you see a weed, you can thank it. All plants obviously provide this service. However, since we have difficulty growing other plants in severely degraded soil, who better to supply these organic materials than the weeds themselves? Watch this video to see why feeding our soil organisms makes sense. We go into much more detail there. If you've got access to compost and biofertilizers and mulch, you can certainly use them. But on their own, they're not the most effective tools. And that's because our soil communities need root tissues and root exudates, as well as the leaves and other organic materials from above ground, to have a balanced diet. Using this ecological approach, we use weeds to provide a valuable service and get rid of weeds for good. By helping to repair our soil, Weeds help create the conditions for our crops to grow. We feed our families and free up our time for more rewarding things than weeding.